Welcome to episode number 4 of SWOT analysis by Cricket Cult. And today we have the second favorite or joint favorites with Australia, the mighty English, the defending champions in the 50 over World Cup. Some say they've changed how T20 cricket is played, and now every team is catching up, including Australia, who are the defending champions. So today we're going to talk about the England team. Ashwin, your first thoughts?
First thoughts, obviously favorites, and they have some power pack players. And उनकी जो batting depth है, as we are going to be speaking, it is quite high. But there are a few glaring concerns also, which we are going to discuss about, obviously. But before anything, let's get on to the squad, shall we?
Yeah, we'll get to the squad. But I feel like why I feel Australia are slightly ahead is because they're playing at home, but also you remember the four core ingredients that I said that were there for a T20 team to be successful. So England have 3 of them. If they had Jofra Archer fit along with Mark Wood, I think they would have ticked all 4 boxes. So I think that's why a slight edge to Australia. So I think they're a well-rounded team. They have explosive batting, power hitting. They have a good wrist spinner in Adil Rashid, and apart from Mark Wood, but we'll get there. Apart from Mark Wood, had there been Jofra Archer, I think then they would have been like on par with Australia or maybe slightly better.
And obviously, Johnny Bairstow not there. Johnny Bairstow not being there.
Absolutely. But then I feel they have enough. Alex Hales is as good a replacement as you can get. But anyways, let's get to the squad of 15. So Ashwin, what do we have?
We have Jos Buttler, the captain, Moeen Ali, Harry Brook, Alex Hales, Sam Curran, Chris Jordan, Liam Livingstone, David Malan, Adil Rashid, Phil Salt, Ben Stokes, Reece Topley, David Willey, Chris Wokes and Mark Wood. And in standby players, they have Liam Dawson, Richard Gleeson and Timal Mills.
So Mills this time is he played. I think before he got injured in the last World Cup, World T20, England were dominating, and then after he got injured, I think England lost their way a little bit, and death bowling became an issue with them. But as you said, power pack team, definitely the second favourites to win the tournament, just slightly behind Australia in my view. But generally in these sort of tournaments, the favourites hardly win. So let's see. Because I remember Australia were not the favourites going into the 2021 T20 World Cup. So funnier things have happened. But we have to do our duty and go on paper and firepower and recent form. So let's get to the strengths. So what are England's strengths according to you?
So in strengths, the biggest strength that England has at this point of time is their batting, their power pack batting and their all-round players. Like when you have someone like Moeen Ali, Ben Stokes, you've seen Moeen Ali the way he played during the recent series against Pakistan, where he was the captain in all the 7 games. Then Ben Stokes gives them a new dimension. We have Alex Hales and Jos Buttler at the top of the order. Even someone like Harry Brook, who doesn't show any inhibitions or the fact that he's just a new kid on the block. And then you have a very power packed player in Phil Salt who's sitting in the reserves. So these are my strengths according to the English team. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. So I think that it's a mixture of Sri Lanka and Australia. So we've discussed that, right? They have like Sri Lanka, they have every batsman who's trigger happy, which suits this format. They don't waste many deliveries. It's good that there is David Malan, because amongst all these Mavericks, you need one anchor type player. But he's also shown tremendous improvement in terms of strike rate. So yes, and also they've got batting depth like Australia, because they have, as you mentioned, Liam Livingstone, he can bowl. You have Sam Curran, who can bat and bowl. You have Chris Jordan, Chris Wokes. All of them might not play, and then I missed Moeen Ali, the best of them, and Stokes. So wow, they have like at least 4 all-rounders in the playing 11.
And we also
So
have
that gives
Sam
them.
Curran and Sam Curran and David Willey who can
I
both.
mentioned no, I mentioned Sam Curran. David Willey probably will struggle to make the 11, but the way Sam Curran is bowling, I did mention him. But yes, that's basically their strength. When it comes to weakness, I feel uh, they have enough good new ball bowlers. So someone like a Topley or a David Willey or a Sam Curran, these or a Chris Stokes, even Mark Wood for that matter. These guys enjoy bowling with the new ball. Uh, but apart from Mark Wood and maybe recently Sam Curran, but Wood can also travel. Wood can also travel on his day. But yes, at least he's express pace and he loves playing in Australia. We saw what happened in the first T20, how he turned the game on its head. But see, Jordan had a very poor World Cup. Even though he's a designated death bowler, he travels. He travels. He had a very poor game against New Zealand where they lost in the semi-finals in the last T20 World Cup. We all know what happened with Stokes and Carlos Brathwaite. So Stokes is not your answer. David Willey, not enough pace to bowl in the death. Then again, Reece Topley, not enough pace to bowl in the death. So I feel that is where they'll struggle. Last two T20 World Cups, they've been the favorites. They've been the best team, but it's been Stokes once in 2016 and then 2021 Jordan. Their death bowling has let them down, and they've been out of the World T20. So that continues to be a problem for them in the absence of Jofra Archer. Coming to the opportunities, Ashwin. So, what is it that England has in them or potential that this time they'll go the distance and win the T20 World Cup for the second time?
I think the aura of being England and one of the most brutal and most aggressive white ball side of all the teams. So ever since Owen Morgan brought the New England Revolution, they have been behemoths in the white ball format. But this is also an opportunity for someone like Harry Brook. As I said earlier when we were discussing about the strengths part, to actually stand up and show why he is being rated so highly by the English cricket loving people. And obviously a lot of experts have also said that he's the next big thing in English cricket after Joe Root. So that would be my opportunity. What do you think?
Yes, of course. You've taken it in the literal sense, opportunity for young players to shine. I'd also think their spin bowling. That's a huge opportunity because you've seen Adil Rashid do well. Moeen Ali is a good spinner in his own right. Then you've got Liam Livingstone, who can bowl leg spin and off spin whenever he wants. So that gives them the variety, especially Adil Rashid. I think he's going to be the key. And when we think about England's white ball revolution, we think about the Butlers and the Stokeses and the Bairstows. But I think this one, Adil Rashid has been as pivotal as any of these names in turning it around for England, because hey, you can't just win matches with the bat. He's an attacking bowler. So they have attacking batsmen, and Adil Rashid is an attacking bowler. So him and Mark Wood are probably going to be the keys, because express pace and wrist spin, that's the mantra to win in Australia. So that's their huge opportunity, especially against Asian teams, because they have some tricky Asian teams in their group. They have most likely Sri Lanka, who will top their group one, will go to their group. They also have Afghanistan in amongst them, and so these can be banana peel, which so someone like an Adil Rashid with his Googles and a Mark Wood with his extreme pace can trouble these sides. So what do you make of the threat? Do you any apparent threat you feel apart from injuries, which is there with every team?
I think overconfidence. Maybe they could be a bit overconfident going into this World Cup because they have just beaten the World T20 champions 2-0 in the recent series that they played before the World Cup. So maybe just they are peaked early.
I feel that won't happen because they've gotten into the last two T20 World Cups as favorites, and this time actually they don't go in as favorites as the at least in the book. So they'll be anything but overconfident. So I'll slightly disagree with you there. The injury part, which you beautifully mentioned in the article, which people can check out on cricketcult.com, the SWOT analysis that you did. I I keep on saying that that's subjective and that's for every team, but more so with England, because look what they've done. They've had Chris Wokes and Liam Livingstone announced in the 15 even when they weren't fully fit, right? And Liam Livingstone still hasn't played any game, and he's definitely a shoe in the playing 11. Then they've had Ben Stokes, who's so injury prone, and we've seen that he's had to give up the ODI format. He's playing T20 cricket after 1.5 years, if I'm not wrong. After July 2021, he's playing T20 cricket. So with them, they've come up with half-cooked players. I think more than injury, that is a threat for them. Stokes is not the most brilliant T20. He doesn't have the best T20 record in batting, and that's where England need him more than his bowling, right? So yes, he's a big match player, but it can get tricky there in the middle. That's a threat, because I can't see too many fast bowling reserves. You mentioned Tim Mills, but he's not the same bowler like he was 2-3 years ago. Then Jofra is injured, so that is definitely a threat. Like these half-cooked players, which we don't see with England, because they generally go on form more than reputation. But this time, I think they've gone with reputation more than form.
Even someone like Markwood keeps getting injured.
Absolutely. So you hit the nail on the head. So anything were to happen to, one set piece is disturbed, and I think it has the potential to go awry. So they have to watch out.
As Navjot Singh Sidhu would say, one push and the entire cycle stand falls down.
Correct.
So what is your likely 11 for England as they play their
England, I think the only problem that the only thinking that they'll have to do is at number 8. Apart from that, I think should everyone be fit, everyone picks themselves up. So obviously Hales and Butler will open. At number 3 you have David Malan. Number 4 you'll most probably have Ben Stokes. At number 5 we'll see Harry Brook. At number 6 Liam Livingstone or Moeen Ali. Number 7 Liam Livingstone or Moeen Ali. At number 8, with current form, I am picking Sam Curran. They might as well go for a Chris Jordan. I don't quite see how Chris Wokes will fit in, because the way Reece Topley has been bowling with the new ball, he's been sensational. So I picked him with the new ball. At number 9, you've got Adil Rashid. At number 10, you've got Mark Wood. At number 11, I have Topley. So I'm going with Sam Curran at number 8 ahead of Chris Jordan.
That's quite a deep team which can bat deep.
Absolutely. So that's their strength, right? Yeah.
Right. So what do you predict? Where could England realistically end up? I know you.
On paper, they should make the final. But then tournaments aren't won on papers, as they say. But they're definitely, along with Australia, the two best teams in the tournament. That goes without saying. So that's it, folks. Please, if you like our work, please do subscribe and press that bell icon. You can follow us on Instagram at Cricket Cult Official. We are at Cult Cricket on Twitter. Please give us your love, leave your comments, and any feedback is valued. Thank you so much.